Let's go. We got some things to talk about. Epic Switch 2 news.
Oh, we have on camera Reggie Fils, man!
Obi-Wan plays.
That's right. What's up? All right.
Obi-Wan plays.
What is going on, everybody? How are y'all doing?
Make sure like and subscribe.
All right. Make sure you like and subscribe. Beat is fire. What's up, ASAP? ASAP was first and second. What's up, Chris, Josh, Daniel, Lake Show, Jack? What's up to everybody coming into the chat? Oh, you got to go on the other side, bro. We have some dope Switch 2 news to talk about. We got a couple of Switch 2 news items to talk about. But before we get started, we will be giving away a Switch 2 console to a lucky subscriber. Make sure you are subscribed.
Make sure like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, not subscribe. What's up to everybody in the chat? Also, like she said, we're at 7 likes. Let's get that them likes up for the stream. Let's get it to 20 likes. 13 people give the stream a thumbs up right now. Let's get to the news. Oh, last thing. If you want to join a dope gaming community, become a sponsor, become a member of the OGC. You get invited to my private gaming Discord. We have tournaments. We just hang out. It's just a great gaming, Nintendo gaming community. Fun stuff. Let's get to the Switch 2 news, boys and girls. The first thing we're going to be talking about today, Nintendo Switch 2 DLSS. What up, Lake Show? This is coming from Polygon.com. They said some interesting things about the Nintendo Switch's DLSS that we have to talk about, chop it up, and how DLSS is going to impact us as Nintendo gamers going into this generation. I'm telling you, this could be one of the best gaming generations ever if Nintendo plays their cards right. Let's get to it. What is DLSS? And will it be Switch 2's secret weapon? Nvidia's AI-powered upscaling tech could give Nintendo a valuable advantage. This is a new article that they just came out with. I thought it was interesting. We have to talk about it. All right. Back in 2023, reports emerged from Gamescom that Nintendo was demoing hardware that targeted the Switch 2 specs to its partners. I remember those rumors. One of the most interesting details of the report was that the demo used DLSS. We're at 12 likes. What's up, everybody coming into the stream? Give the stream a thumbs up. Or deep learning super sampling, an AI-powered upscaling technology created by Nvidia and currently exclusive to the graphics cards that Nvidia makes. Nintendo deep learning secret sauce. ASAP with the $5 super chat. Man, ASAP, I appreciate it, bro. Hey, I need somebody to type ASAP in the chat. Let's go. Shout out to the homie ASAP, man, for supporting the content. So, he says it's deep learning secret sauce. That's that secret sauce. Bro, when Nintendo has this present, we are almost 1 month away. We're at the end of February. And the presentation starts at the beginning of April. So in my mind, we only have March. Only March is left. Only 1 month. That's going to be crazy. Lake Show, type ASAP. Jack, type ASAP. Daniel, type ASAP. What's up? And I appreciate everybody just coming in and giving the stream a thumbs up. We're already at 16 likes, 4 people and we're gonna crush 20 likes live right now. Let's go. Let's talk about it. This is a technology created by Nvidia and currently exclusive to the graphics cards that Nvidia makes. Who's making the chipset for the Switch 2? That's right, Nvidia. DLSS is a powerful and consumer-friendly technology that has upended the PC gaming graphics market. That's right, it's turned the graphics market upside down because you always had to get the latest and greatest graphics card. And of course, getting a more powerful graphics card does benefit you. But now, this technology is allowing Nvidia to have higher resolutions, higher frame rates on graphics cards that you wouldn't expect it from. All right. It has rivals like AMD's FSR and Sony's PSSR found in the PlayStation 5 Pro. But so far, Nvidia's tech is far more effective. But here's the thing. DLSS has never been used in a fixed console platform, never mind a handheld. But here's why I think Nintendo's going to benefit from it. I think Nintendo's going to greatly benefit from it. It's an advantage that it's a fixed console platform because on PC, different games, the games have to be scalable to a wide range of graphics cards. For the Switch, one graphics card. All the developers can optimize their games for that one chipset. It's going to be a big advantage. What's up, Biggie? Hope you're doing good, bro. All right. Here's everything to know about DLSS and what it will mean for the Switch 2. So we're going to break down this article. It breaks down DLSS, how it's going to benefit us. But we got a couple other things to talk about too after the DLSS. All right, watch it, bro. I know. What are you showing? Oh, okay. All right. Hold on. Let me open this with my daughter. All right, go that way. While manufacturers, here it is. Deep learning supersampling is a technology that uses machine learning, artificial intelligence, in other words, to improve the image quality of supported games running at a low resolution, leading to a higher frame rate while gaming. Fire. While manufacturers of graphics cards and next generation consoles like to focus on the fancy effects and features their hardware can provide, the truth is that in recent years, much of the increased power has been used for the grunt work of filling in pixels. That's right. What takes up most of the processing power of these systems is bumping up that resolution, getting it to run at a native 4K or whatever native resolution it's trying to run at. That takes up a good chunk of the processing power of a game. The push towards 4K display resolutions means there's a huge amount more detail to fill in every single frame, and pixels cost power. DLSS machine learning neural network is trained on thousands of hours of gameplay to intelligently upscale games to higher resolutions at a much lower power cost than filling in all that detail natively. Now, don't get me wrong. There is still a cost to use DLSS, but not nearly as much as it is to run those games at those native resolutions. This means the game can aim for a much lower internal resolution, improving frame rate and leaving it to DLSS to fill in the details and upscale to a high display resolution, producing a crisp final image. Those final game images are going to look clean on the Switch. All right, you got to go that way. In its latest version, DLSS 4, Nvidia's tech can improve ray tracing lighting reflections and shadows, or even generate multiple entire frames. But resolution upscaling remains the technology's killer application. So what is DLSS good for? Simply put, DLSS enhances the performance of any graphics cards it runs on, making it easier to achieve high frame rates, meaning smooth gameplay, while maintaining crisp, detailed images that look great on high-resolution screens. And that is what gets me the most hype for DLSS. Smoother gameplay. Those Switch 2 games, 60 frames per second. That's gonna be, I hope that's what Nintendo targets. The third-party developers. I know Nintendo's gonna target it, but those third-party developers. All right. That has consumer-friendly knock-on effects. It's much more power efficient to produce, say, a 4K image using DLSS than without, which saves on energy. That just screams longer battery life for the Switch 2 gaming. It's more power efficient. That's something that a lot of people don't pick up on. A lot of people are just talking about how it's going to improve your frame rates. Like and subscribe. Frame rates, resolutions. Okay, all right, bro, cut it out. All right, but it also has a big effect on power efficiency. It's going to take less power draw to run those games at higher resolutions. Good stuff for Nintendo. Perfect for Nintendo. All right. DLSS extends the life of older graphic cards too, so PC gamers don't have to upgrade as often and at such expense to keep up. All right, so wait, isn't AI bad? Not in this case. DLSS is a great example of machine learning being used in a way that's not just harmless, but very useful. It's not doing work a human can do, and it's not trained on human creativity. It's run locally on your own device rather than on a power-hungry server farm. It just makes graphics technology more efficient and better. All right, what does there's a video, DLSS 4 versus DLSS off. Let me see this video. Hold on, watch on YouTube. Hold on. This is an example after this ad. Come on. Killing me with these ads. On the left, this is Cyberpunk. On the left, DLSS off, running just at 26 frames per second. And on the right, 240 frames per second. This is DLSS 4 and with full ray tracing on. That's crazy. Y'all see the huge frame rate leap? This is the same graphics card, but one has DLSS off and another one has it on. So, but here's my thing though. Yeah, you could, here's my thing. A lot of this stuff to the naked eye is hard. Like, both games look just as good. It's just the frame rate. Oh yeah, you can't see. Oh yeah, you can see smoother frame rate on the one on the right. All right, so that's just one example of DLSS. All right, what does DLSS mean for the Switch 2? For us as Nintendo fans. Shout out to everybody coming into the stream. We're at 25 likes. 15 people give the stream a thumbs up. Let's get it to 40 likes right now. We don't know for sure how DLSS will fare on the Switch 2. We've never seen DLSS running on a console before. This is uncharted territory. And it wasn't originally designed for systems as low powered as the Switch 2 is expected to be. But in all likelihood, if the reports prove correct and the Switch 2 uses DLSS, it will be a huge plus for Nintendo's next system. All right, the Switch 2 will be less powerful than the PS5, Xbox Series X, and it will likely be closer to a PS4 in terms of raw power, and that's facts. I think it's going to be slightly more powerful than the PS4, but in that ballpark. but DLSS could enable it to close the gap to those consoles by running it at a very low internal resolution, say 540p, and then using DLSS to upscale that image to a resolution of its handheld screen, which is likely to be 1080p. And even when you dock it, even more power draw, higher resolutions. And so, without DLSS, just the raw specs of the system, slightly more powerful than the PS4. But with that secret sauce, those games are going to be on par with PS5, Xbox Series X, S. It's going to be on par with those games with that super sampling. DLSS is a power efficient technology too, meaning that it could have a positive impact on the Switch 2's battery life, which I just said. This is one of the most exciting aspects of DLSS employed in a handheld. While Nintendo's own games usually employ a simple art style and aren't too concerned with graphical bells and whistles, DLSS will be a boon to third-party publishers. Third-party developers are going to benefit from DLSS, and that's what I've been saying, bro. That's what I've been saying. All right. Who want to port their current gen titles across to the lower powered handheld. It could make this difficult work a fair bit easier for third-party developers. Nintendo, meanwhile, may use it to target smooth, high frame rates on its games without having to cut graphical corners. Finally, there's exclusivity. DLSS is the best technology of its kind, and it's exclusive to Nvidia chips. That's like one of the best things. Both PlayStation and Xbox cannot use DLSS. They are both using AMD architecture, AMD graphics cards. And so yes, they have a version of DLSS, but it's not the original thing. DLSS is exclusive to Nvidia, and the only home console that will be using it that uses Nvidia's graphics cards, which are better. Nvidia just makes better technology than AMD. That's just not debatable. But it's going to be exclusive to the Switch, so we got to be good, bro. All right. The Switch 2 is reportedly powered by a custom Nvidia Tegra T239 processor. Nvidia does not currently make chipsets for any other console or for any of the PC handhelds like Steam Deck. So not even Steam Deck doesn't use Nvidia. Access to DLSS would give Nintendo a big graphics performance advantage over its competitors relative to the power of its device. And so, less powerful, but it's going to have huge graphical implications. I'm telling you, this Switch 2 is about to be fire, bro. What's up to everybody coming into the stream? We just crushed 30 likes. 10 people give the stream a thumbs up. Let's crush 50 likes right now. Now this is a big question. This question is, does that mean Switch 2 will be able to display at 4K when docked? I think it might, but I also don't really care. I keep telling y'all, if Nintendo can get 2K gaming, 2K graphics, not 4K, but 2K 1880p. Is 2K, is it? No, it's 1440p. I'm saying 1880p. I just made that up. If Nintendo can get 1440p docked with DLSS, 60 frames per second, oh my goodness. Those games will definitely be on par with PS5. If they could squeeze it out. I don't know. That's yet to be determined. But, because when I play games on my PS5, basically all my games are PS5 are 1440p. To get smooth frames, because at native 4K you can't get 60 frames on the PS5. So what does it mean Does that mean the Switch 2 will be able to display at 4K when docked? It's time to manage our expectations a little. Now, this is according to Polygon. So, DLSS is powerful, but according to gaming tech experts at Digital Foundry, it's not free lunch. And I remember Digital Foundry saying that. When aiming for high display resolutions on lower powered hardware, the latency introduced by DLSS climbs to a level where it can start to actively hurt frame rates. Digital Foundry tested DLSS on a downclock gaming laptop, aiming at a rough estimate of the Switch 2 specs, and found that Death Stranding struggled to hit 30 frames per second when using DLSS upscaled a 720p internal resolution to 4K. At lower resolutions like 1080p or 1440p, the results were much better. And I'm telling you, that's all I need. 1440p. Performance was close to 50 frames per second at 1080p with tweaks and optimizations. Here's the thing. That's a game that was not custom built for that laptop. That game, a PC game, is not custom built for one device. It's made scalable for a plethora of different graphics cards. Again, it goes back to one of the very first things I said. The big advantage Nintendo's going to have is all of the games are going to be custom and built, optimized. That's the word I'm looking for. Optimized for the Switch 2 and how they can make the game run the best specifically for that platform. And I think that's where it's going to be dope. Game 62. All right, they said it's possible to imagine the Switch 2 running Kojima production games at 1080p at a smooth 60 frames per second using DLSS. A 4K display output for the Switch 2 is not impossible, though Nvidia and Nintendo may be able to optimize the implementation of DLSS on a fixed custom setup like the Switch 2 in ways that are impossible to replicate on a PC. That's what I just said. Like they're able to, they should be able to customize and optimize that platform, whereas on a PC there's so many other factors. From what we know, 4K is likely to be at the outer limit of what the Switch 2 is capable of, even with DLSS. And I'm cool with that. I told y'all 1440p, Nintendo can get that dock mode on the Switch 2. Games are going to be looking beautiful, bro. All right. What's Nintendo's DLSS style patent all about? Facts. Remember, Nintendo has a patent for DLSS, which will be used on the Switch 2. So we know that the Switch 2 will be using DLSS. Check it out. It says, great question. A Nintendo file patent was published at the end of 2024 describing a machine learning powered upscaling technology that sounds an awful lot like DLSS. How can Nintendo patent a technology that already exists and is made by someone else? It's certainly strange, but there are a few other aspects to the patent. For example, it notes that this compute-heavy process can struggle to hit 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second on lower-powered hardware. But Nintendo's proposed neural network specific targets those frame rates on a lower-powered chip. So Nintendo has patented to run specifically for their Switch 2. It also describes a system that can switch between different neural modes on the fly depending on data provided in real time by the game engine, a kind of dynamic DLSS setting that can adjust its quality to make sure it's hitting frame rate. According to Digital Foundry, this is a wholly new concept. I'm telling you, Nintendo has something completely new, unexpected, that we're going to experience for the first time, brand new technology on the Switch 2. All right. It's hard to know what to make of the patent, which, like all patents, confirms nothing. But it certainly seems that the Switch 2 will use machine learning powered upscaling. And it also suggests that Nintendo is working actively with Nvidia on a custom version of DLSS with unique features tailored to the Switch 2's lower powered hardware. And so, a custom DLSS for the Switch 2. All right. Will Switch 2 use DLSS 4? I can sort of answer that and probably no, but let me see what they say. The latest update to Nvidia's DLSS tech released in January has a lot of fancy features aimed at high-powered graphics cards, but considering the patent, it's probably safer to assume the Switch 2 will use a custom version of DLSS rather than Nvidia's DLSS 4 model. Yeah, they're going to use a custom version. There's one feature of DLSS 4 that could be important for the Switch 2 if it's ported across, though. DLSS Override allows the tech to be used on any game, even if it hasn't been developed or patched to support it. That's interesting. This could mean that developers don't need to code for DLSS to see the benefit for it on the Switch 2. That's crazy. Meaning the developers could just make their game 540p and the Switch 2 automatically can upscale it to whatever resolution it sees fit. That'll be pretty dope. And because the Switch 2 is backwards compatible with the Switch, it could open up the entire Switch backlog to improve resolution and potentially even better performance via DLSS upscaling. I didn't even realize this. DLSS 4 allows games to automatically bump up to higher resolutions without the developers patching the game. Bro, I think Nintendo might implement this for the Switch 2. Just imagine you turn on Breath of the Wild. You already bought the game. And the game automatically is running higher frame rates, higher resolution. Without you having to do, without the developers having to do anything, that could open up the world. Bro, there could be so many possible Switch 1 games that people will go back and play just for this possibility. All right, when will Nintendo announce DLSS for the Switch 2? Potentially as part of the Switch 2 Direct on April 2nd, but potentially not. Yeah, Nintendo's known to not get into the nitty-gritty of specs when it comes to their system, so they may not say anything at all. Unlike Sony, which made a big deal out of PSSR in its PS5 Pro reveal, yeah, they spent so much time on technology. And that's what Mark Cerny does. Even when the PS5 was announced, Mark Cerny was like going into so much detail on the tech. Nintendo's not going to waste that much time on it. All right. Nintendo is not very tech forward in its marketing, preferring to focus on software and the innovative physical features of the hardware. That's what I love about Nintendo. Show us the games. It's conceivable that it won't mention DLSS at all, and we'll have to wait for developer interviews to begin emerge before we can learn about how this technology will work on the Switch 2. Facts. I personally I don't want Nintendo to waste any time talking about DLSS and how this has a meaningful impact to me as a gamer. I just want to see games. I just want to see games running the features of the game, some cool features of the hardware. Games. That's what I want to see at this presentation. If they do take some time out to focus on the power of the system, I won't complain. I'll be here for it. But I'm primarily tuning in for those first-party games, third-party games. That's what we want. So I thought this was dope. Shout out to Polygon. I usually criticize Polygon, but this article really broke down DLSS, and it's not using too many technical terms that can go over our heads, and just shows how it benefits us as gamers. The only downside of DLSS is latency. That's true, Mur, but if optimized correctly for the Switch 2 platform, it could be non-existent. So it's just all about optimization, and I have so much confidence in Nintendo on how they know how to make the most of their hardware with their software. And if third-party developers can follow suit, we're gonna be good to go, bro. Nintendo's gonna be in there, bro. We have another one. This next news item is pretty dope. And this makes this video that I showed about yesterday or 2 days ago, I completely forgot. Nintendo has a dual screen patent. We gotta revisit this patent of a dual screen gaming device that can be split in half. This is a concept video of a screen, an additional screen and a camera that can attach the USB-C port at the top of the Switch. For those of you that don't know, if you've been living under a rock, the Switch 2, and it's rotatable, so it can go any. I'm so hyped for this system. The Switch 2 has a USB-C ports, the top of the system and the bottom of the system. And Nintendo has a patent for a dual screen gaming device that can be split in half. That means this isn't just a concept video. Nintendo is actually working on what if. No, not what if. I think Nintendo could have a lineup, a tier for 3DS games coming to the Switch 2. And bundled in, you probably just have to pay, and just for that simple, and you know the upper screen, you could probably just have that. You can use real cheap technology for the upper screen and just have your core gaming on the lower screen. Just flip it, because the processing power, all of that's going to be, or Nintendo could use either or because it's going to be connected through the USB-C. But I think that's going to be relatively inexpensive just to have that screen by itself, $50. And if Nintendo even bundles that with a game, oh my goodness, the possibilities are endless. But here is the exact patent. Nintendo has a patent for a gaming device that can split in half. And so this video makes way more sense. And this is where a lot of people that are talking about, oh, the Switch 2's not innovative. Nintendo's gonna blow y'all mind, bro. Yeah, so fresh and so clean. Facts ASAP. All right, let's revisit this patent that now makes more and more sense. Crazy. Nintendo patent dual screen gaming device that can split. Patents a dual screen gaming device that can be split in half. The Switch 2, ladies and gentlemen. Nintendo recently filed a patent. This is an old article, but we got to revisit it because now it's making sense with the Switch 2. With the patent for a dual screen detachable device. With the Switch 2 being Nintendo's worst kept secret, every patent leak that emerges raising an eyebrow from fans who are eager to get a first look at the next generation. All right. Reports of the Switch 2 successor, man, closed door. Yeah, we talked about that. All right. The recent patent looks an awful lot like a 3DS. And look, this looks like a 3DS, or a DS, 3DS. But the device can be split in half. And at the time of this article, we knew nothing about a USB-C port at the top of the Switch. But now that we know that the Switch has a USB-C port at the top, it's all making sense now. It's all making sense. The two separate halves can communicate with each other wirelessly, allowing two gamers to play together on the same device. Whoa, wirelessly. I wonder if you do it directly, it'll be less latency, of course. Interestingly enough, there's also a touchscreen on the outside of the console, which allows gamers to interact with the handheld, even when it's closed. Wow, so even when you close it, you can interact somehow on the other side. This reminds me of, what was it, the PlayStation Vita, where it had the touch panel on the back and it still interacted. You could see the results on the screen. All right. If the device does see the light of day, it could serve to bring a ton of essential DS games to the Switch online library. And I'm talking about 3DS also for the Switch 2. What's up to everybody coming into the stream? Give the stream a big, big, big thumbs up. We're at 45 likes. 5 people give the stream a thumbs up. We're gonna crush 50 likes right now. If there's a USB on the top as well. I think it's just to show that you could put the Joy-Cons on either side and it doesn't matter. Because this has happened to me. My kids put the Joy-Con on the wrong, upside down, on the wrong side, and it gets jammed. And you gotta unjam it, bro. It's happened. Trust me. It's happened. So I think this is dope. All right. Again, Nintendo patents aren't guaranteed that these products come into source shells. Big companies file patents all the time to protect their potential products. All right. Also interesting to note, the device appears to be a handheld-only device. All right. With the Switch, Nintendo has combined both its handheld and home cards market in hybrid nature. One of the few things Nintendo's planning to use Nintendo accounts for a smooth transition with the Switch 2. All right. Yeah, well, and this is where this article didn't know that. With this understanding, it seems unlikely that the Switch's follow-up would differ from the current iteration, and now we know that the Switch 2 is just a bigger and better version of the Switch. So this concept now sheds more light with the patent that Nintendo has for a dual screen gaming device. And so it's all making sense. And the reason why I wanted to go back to that patent is Forbes, major outlet, Forbes has just come out with an article yesterday that says why a Nintendo Switch 2 with dual screens could be a game changer. Bruh. And it's going to lead into the next article I want to talk about too. So much stuff. Bro, could Nintendo actually revisit the dual screen magic of its hugely successful DS and 3DS handhelds with the upcoming Switch 2? A new video illustrating a second screen accessory attaching to a Switch 2 has generated some wishful thinking. That's the video that y'all see right now. But there are reasons to believe this functionality might see the light of day, that this is really happening. To set expectations, what we're talking about today is currently only a concept, but I just reminded y'all of that patent, which is real, a real patent, not a concept. Like the stunning light mode Switch 2, it was conceived and rendered by a very creative person. The video in question surfaced on Reddit and shows the console being rotated 180 degrees, the Joy-Con snapping into place, and the screen attachments. Just describing the video, y'all see. Close over. All right. It's grounded in reality To fully understand how this concept is grounded in reality and not just a silly pipe dream, it's helpful to revisit what we already know about the Switch 2. When Nintendo finally revealed the new console to the world, we learned many fascinating tidbits. But the two facts that apply here are how powerful the Switch 2 will be and that the hybrid handheld will include USB-C ports on both the top and bottom of the tablet style display. There's one more piece to this puzzle. A recently published patent, in addition to the one confirming mouse functionality for the Switch 2, this newer patent suggests the console can be rotated and used normally when upside down. And so all these patents coming together to make this video. So this video isn't just a concept. This is a video of all of the patents that have been officially filed by Nintendo. What's up to everybody coming into the stream? We crushed 52 likes. Let's get 8 more people to give the stream a thumbs up. Let's crush 60 likes right now. In addition to the one, that's likely aided in part by the Joy-Cons magnetically attaching now instead of using a rail system. The render very cleverly shows why the Switch 2 would need to be flipped upside down to use the dual screen attachment. That's so it can avoid blocking the system's exhaust vents that are on top. Oh, the exhaust vents are on top. And so if you flip it and connect it to the USB-C at the bottom, then it won't block the exhaust vents. That's true. Or Nintendo could shape the device to where it's shaped around the exhaust vents to not block the exhaust vents, so it can be placed at the top or bottom of the system. Like how it is right there. Like you see how it's like it's not necessarily blocking the exhaust vents. So Nintendo could just shape the device around the actual Switch 2 console. So either way would work, and not disrupt cooling. DS and 3DS games on Switch 2. And there's another article that I want to touch on that talks about it. That's all we got. Kid Icarus right here, boy. Kid Icarus on that Switch 2. Fire. All right. Kid Icarus on the 3DS was fire, bro. The ground levels, but the flying levels and the interaction between Pit and Palutena, some of the best in video game ever, bro. All right. The obvious question now becomes, why does the Switch 2 need a second screen? If Nintendo continues expanding its Nintendo Online service to include additional consoles, this would naturally enable the extensive DS and 3DS handheld libraries. The Switch 2's hardware is certainly capable of running them. That's right. Right now, we're all the way up to the most powerful system on the Switch on NSO is the 64, Nintendo 64. But you also have, next in line would be DS, 3DS, the possibilities. If Nintendo continues to expand, they would possibly need a dual screen. And don't think for a second that Nintendo wouldn't love for you to spend money on a Switch 2 accessory so that you could drop even more money on a DS plus 3DS expansion pack for Nintendo Online. I'm not confident Nintendo would encourage developers to create new games that would require a second screen, because that would risk alienating a significant chunk of the Switch user base. Yeah, I think this would just be optional. Oh, is my battery about to die on my headsets? I got a notification. I just got a beep. Hold on one second. Testing 1 2. All right, we still good. All right. Yeah, and I think this is something that wouldn't be launched in year one. Nintendo has to let the system breathe. Don't confuse gamers so they feel, oh, we need to buy a second screen for the system. No, Let this be optional 2 or 3 years into the console's lifespan. All right. The Wii Balance Board, an accessory with several limited uses, sold north of 40 million units. Nintendo loves accessories. Yeah, at the end of the day, Nintendo is a toy company too. And so they love those accessories. Here's something else to think about. Multitasking. How many of us casually watch YouTube or Netflix while we're gaming? I've never thought of this. Because, hey, my kids, this is my son on Fortnite. He'll be playing Fortnite on the PS5 with the iPad in his lap. My kids do that. I know y'all have kids that probably do that too. And so I've never thought about that. What if on the dual screen, you could be like watching just a video, YouTube, while you're gaming? That is crazy. That's crazy. Or y'all remember the Wii U gamepad where it had where you could FaceTime with your friends? What if you could FaceTime and voice chat while you're on the top screen while you're on the second screen? A lot of possibilities, bro. All right. So they say here's something else to think about. How many of us casually watch YouTube or Netflix while we're gaming? Especially cozy games that don't require as much dedicated concentration. That second screen on a Switch 2 has a lot of potential applications.
I watch YouTube while I'm playing.
Yeah, I know you do. So, and the possibilities could be crazy. That second screen could be incredibly useful for customizing and streaming gameplay sessions to Twitch or chatting on Discord. Wow. Like you streaming. That could be true. Like you could be streaming while you're gaming. Bruh. Nintendo could. All right. Even if Nintendo doesn't sell you a dedicated second screen, rumors have swirled for months that the Switch 2 could beam additional gameplay elements or apps to screens you already own. Nintendo has explored this before with the Wii U, because that's what the Wii U was. It was just a screen, the gamepad that you just stream to. Bro, this is some interesting stuff. Yes? Okay. It says arguments against a dual screen. It's stuck. I got to do that later. You can just get another cup. Arguments against a dual screen Switch 2, but there are solid arguments against it. And the most compelling one is battery life. Next to a system's processor, the display is often what contributes most to battery drain. Doubling that battery drain would be problematic, and I don't think it'll double it. Why? Because these are already games that aren't as technologically advanced as current Switch 2 games. We're talking about 3DS games generations ago. So I think Nintendo could optimize it still to not have to worry about battery life. However, Nintendo has done this before with solid results. A new 3DS XL could manage up to 7 hours of battery life if the 3D functionality wasn't being used, and there would be no 3D functionality on the Switch. Mine is nearly 10 years old and still manages more than 3 hours at maximum brightness. The other concern is stability. A second screen accessory would need to be engineered to perfectly to avoid the weight of the screen damaging the USB-C port. Yeah, and I think how they even have the clamps like in this. I think I don't even have to worry about that. Nintendo knows how to engineer stuff. So I'm not too concerned with Nintendo engineering it correctly. All right. So this article talks about the possibility of a dual screen. And this segues into this next article I want to talk about. Bro, the 3DS, this is NintendoLife.com. The 3DS library is ripe for Switch. That's good. For Switch 2. But is NSO the way to go? 3DS. had a dope library of games. You got to go to the side. Had a dope library. Kid Icarus, dope game. Super Mario 3D Land. Bro, this game was so good. And this game used the 3D technology the best. Out of any game on the 3DS, this was the game to crank up your 3D. And y'all have it. You have it, Joshua. You have this game on your 3DS.
Wait, we do?
Super Mario 3D Land?
I didn't see it.
It wasn't on there?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, it should be on there. I know I bought it. But this game was so good. And one game that I'm guilty of, I got it on my 3DS, but I never beat because I was upset that my capture card broke. Samus Returns. And this is what I say with 3DS games. I think Nintendo was almost testing the water with Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. That game, they were able to get that game to look good in HD. All of these games, I think, can scale up to HD. Check this out. DLSS. DLSS with minimum developer input. Bro, I think Nintendo can really be onto something. That's why Nintendo removing the gold points and Nintendo possibly increasing the price of the online service. I'm cool with all of that if they announce 3DS games. Don't do that, Priya. 3DS games automatically upscaled in HD. Bro. All right. 3DS library is ripe for Switch 2, but is NSO the way to go? Says the article. Let's check it out. Let's see what it says. Shh. Hold on. All right. The 3DS has one of those libraries where the more you think about it, the better it gets. Oh my goodness, the first game they mentioned, Ocarina of Time. There have been, what if, check this out, Nintendo announces at the Direct 3DS games and Ocarina of Time on the 3DS upscaled to HD. Sign me up. 3DS had a dope library, man. All right, it says, the better it gets, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask 3D. Fun fact, Majora's Mask, least favorite Zelda game. Still a good game, least favorite. Fire Emblem Awakens, dope game, remember beating that. Super Mario Land, Kid Icarus Uprising, Kirby Planet Robobot. Remember the leaks that there's a Kirby Planet Robobot coming to the current Switch? What if that's actually coming to the Switch 2? And all of this is going to be made easier with DLSS. That's an eggplant. WarioWare Gold, never played that. Samus Returns, definitely played that. Didn't finish it though. You get the picture. If only someone had a list of the best 3DS games. I need to do that one day. I'm going to start doing some like top 10 lists, like Mario, best Mario Kart, all that stuff. All right. Our point is that delightful little stereoscopic sweetheart had more bangers in it than a tin of hot dog sausages, and we want to play them on Switch 2. That was a horrible analogy, but sentiments I echo. Switch, the 3DS had a great library of games, and if they're all made available on the Switch 2, bro. All right. Of course, we're not asking for everything to come over. I am. Some of the handheld's best titles have already made the jump to Switch in remastered form. That's right. Captain Toad was on the Captain Toad Treasure Tracker was on the 3DS. Captain Toad, Luigi's Mansion 2, Monster Hunter Stories were all ported over to the Switch. And another group landed follow-ups that borrowed so heavily from its 3DS predecessor that a full-blown port would feel silly. Does anyone actually want Mario Kart 7 when so much of its DNA can be found in 8 Deluxe? Yeah, Mario Kart 7, not so much. That's all in Mario Kart 8. But with Majora Mask 3D celebrating its anniversary last week, rumors of a Kirby Planet Robobot remaster even rumbling, and still no sign of Rhythm Heaven. I don't care about Rhythm Heaven. We're craving even more 3DS action in 2025. With its presumed mouse controls. That's right. This is why I think Nintendo implemented the mouse controls. No, stop. Bro, a large portion of the 3DS is using the stylus for precision. That all can be done using mouse controls. All right. There's a pretty good case that the Switch 2 is the ideal place for the 3DS library to find a new home. In the week since its official announcement, we've hypothesized the touchscreen potential of mouse mode and fan-made renders. We're already conceptualizing that the console's extra USB-C port and patent flippability could mean for dual screen play. So everybody sees that the Switch 2 is going to have an extra screen for 3DS games. All right. What's more, remember that a 3D slider isn't necessarily a deal breaker for playing 3DS games. That's facts. Towards the end of the handheld's life cycle, a bunch of 3DS exclusives dropped the extra dimension for a 2D only experience. That's right. The 2DS. Nintendo, horrible in naming their systems. The 2DS was a thing. Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, Bowser's Minions, Layton's Mystery Journey, and Super Mario Maker all spring to mind. I forget Mario Maker was on the 3DS.
Yeah, except it was the worst version.
It was the worst version. And the 2D slabs got a clamshell upgrade. All right. As it stands, Switch 2 seems to be the place for a 3DS resurgence. I think it's going to happen for the Switch 2. We can't imagine another massive roster being announced for Switch 1 anytime soon. But the question is how? We'd probably be guilty of shamelessly coughing up another $60 for another pop at Ocarina of Time 3D Remake or Fire Emblem Awakening. All right, we'd probably do it for 3D Land. I'll do it for Ocarina of Time. Uprising and Samus Returns might make us do the same. All right, this gets expensive. I see where they're going. They're saying to just include all these games in Nintendo Switch Online. For our library this stack, landing all the remasters we dream of feels like a long shot and not particularly wallet friendly. But Nintendo Switch Online could provide a neat little workaround. Think about it. If there is some way of replicating the dual screen experience on Switch 2, but that via streaming to another screen like the Wii U or peripheral in the new port, a subscription-based 3DS library could be a good way to make people jump over and sign up for more monthly payments while we're at it. I think Nintendo, if they up the subscription and it costs more, and they add 3DS to the library, I think that would be worth it. I think that'll be worth it. All right. In this instance, Nintendo could pump its resources into nailing a Switch 2 exclusive lineup without having to devote attention to remastering decade-old games. A launch year could see Mario Kart 9, a new 3D Mario, and possibly some gimmicky tie-ins, with Nintendo plugging the gaps between these releases with the news of Majora Mask 3D will be available for Switch. That's right. Nintendo could fill in the gap with announcements this game now available for 3DS on Nintendo Switch Online. So I have to agree with this article. I think Nintendo should include 3DS games into Nintendo Switch Online and have that screen as a separate purchase. Have it as a separate purchase. And even in year one, maybe not right at launch, but later on as they announce other features, announce this too. So the possibilities for this system, pretty dope stuff. All right, this next news item I had to share with y'all. Nintendo has announced a Nintendo Switch OLED model with Super Mario Wonder bundled at $349, which is a good deal. You pretty much get the game for free because the Switch OLED by itself costs $349. This is exclusive to Best Buy. Best Buy bundle, or sets you back for $349, and it's available on March 1st. So in about a week and a half, you'll be able to get new Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I keep saying new. Super Mario Brothers Wonder, Switch OLED. Here it is. And you get 3 months of Nintendo Switch Online for free. So I think that's pretty dope. And I think Nintendo's doing that to still say, hey, we're still going to show our current model Switch some love. If they're coming out with a bundle for $350 this late, I think the Switch 2 is going to be at least $400. $400. All right. The last thing I wanted to share with you all is, y'all remember Nintendo announced a Lego Game Boy. This is coming from TheVerge.com. Leaked details reveal the potential price for Lego's Nintendo Game Boy. All right. Aside from an October 2025 release, the teaser Lego and Nintendo Switch released in January for their upcoming Game Boy collaboration was light on details. But according to an Instagram account, that video chronicle says has a reliable track record for sharing accurate details about new sets before Lego does. The brick-built Game Boy will sell for $59.99, $60 when it launches on October 1st and will include 421 pieces. So $60, 421 pieces. Falcon Brick Studios shared the details on Instagram earlier today, including the set number 72046 that matches earlier leaks, but pricing that's slightly cheaper than what was anticipated. However, $60 for 421 pieces, which works out to about 14 cents per brick, makes this upcoming set one of the more expensive Nintendo Lego collaborations. The $129.99 Super Mario World Mario Yoshi set, released last October, came to about 11 cents per brick. All right. Handheld this year, find the Switch 2. All right. So just giving y'all details of it. It's going to be $60, 421 piece Lego Game Boy. Probably pick it up. My kids love to do Lego stuff, so I'll probably pick this up. All right. There's some other Nintendo Lego pieces I need to low-key get. All right. That's all the news for this stream. What do you guys think about... Oh, man, my thing just... Hold on, bro. I got to adjust this. All right. Hold on. Man, still messed up. All right. What do you guys think about everything we talked about? Come on. Sound off in the comment section below. I want to know. But before you go, bro, click that subscribe button. Stay up to date. All things
Nintendo. Make sure to like and subscribe for too.
Peace.
Reggie Fils-Aimé!
Obi-Wan plays.
Yes, right. What's up? All right.
Obi-Wan plays.